Canisius head coach Reggie Witherspoon. Coach, you want to open with a statement, and then we'll take questions.
I just think Iona played really hard, and they were able to sustain their intensity the duration of the game, and it affected our ability to execute and play at a high enough level to compete.
Reggie, you hung in there early in the first half and you kept it close. Where do you feel it got away from you?
Again, I just think that, and we told our guys this, after the first 10 minutes of the game, I think mentally our guys wanted the intensity level to go down. They wanted, the challenge, the determination of our opponent. We wanted our opponent to do something else, and that's not how they play. So we began to break down.
How can you force some teams out of their element in the future? Because you said that's obviously one of the things that you struggle with. How is that something you're going to get to?
Well, again, I think it's a maturity thing. This team plays with a great deal of intensity, and we've had times where we've been able to deal with what the other team's desires are, or their style of play. We've been able to deal with that. But this was a style of play, but it was a style of play with a certain level of intensity and desire and determination.
What do you learn from games like these?
I think our team learns how hard you have to play and what you have to do when you're met with a resistance from your opponent.
Reggie, you've had some concerns with stability at the point guard position since Malik graduated, but in Taj you found a potential building block to really get the guards galvanized and united. What does he bring to the table that you didn't have with him last year, and how much more are you looking forward to his evolution?
Well, again, he's learning. I always correct people when they say he's a redshirt freshman. I go, he's a freshman because he had no practices. He was he broke his foot. He was out the entire year. So sometimes you get a redshirt freshman. That means he practices but didn't play any games. This kid had no basketball activity, and so he's learning this. And we're excited about his future. He's a hard worker and a really good young man.
Coach, was it difficult when Iona went big at the start with both Nelly Jr. Joseph and Osborne Sheem in the game?
No, we saw that Friday, and we anticipated that. They're really good at the rim, so you get 7 block shots. There's 7 times you're mostly at the rim. Maybe one of them was a block shot on the perimeter, and they're able to recover. But the thing that's really impressive is they're not they're not just sitting under the rim and blocking shots or just sitting on the rim and scoring. They're able to get out and run and defend on the perimeter. And that, I think, allows them to cover the court better. So your shots, even your threes, you're shooting quick. And that's just a challenge that you have to deal with when you're playing Iona.
So a different side of Yako today. He comes off the bench and he picks up a double-double. Does he provide more of a spark where he can feel a game out in the opening minutes and then see what he has to do to get the team closer together?
Yeah, he's a veteran set of eyes on the bench that you bring off the bench, and you're hoping to get that done. What you're also hoping to do is that you're hoping that he comes in the game and can play for a longer stretch without being in foul trouble, and that didn't happen today. You're hoping with a guy like that bringing off the bench, you can bring him in earlier and prevent foul trouble on maybe somebody else, and that didn't happen today.
We saw a pretty deep bench today. Have you guys found your best lineups yet?
No, absolutely not. We're still working our way through that without a question.
We'll take one more from
And
Coach.
what do you think you're going to learn in the next couple of road games that you have? Toledo, Penn State, FGCU, those are some really tough opponents.
Yeah, we don't have an easy non-conference schedule. That's for certain. And you have to use these if you're looking outcome oriented, then you'll struggle with this. We got to have a growth mindset, and that means every time you're on the court, you're learning something, and you either win or you learn. And today we learned.
Going back to the veteran set of eyes that you mentioned with Yako, How pleased have you been with Jameer and his adaptation in the program as a sixth-year guy?
Yeah, we initially were bringing him off the bench to try to get the same advantage. We just found that we were relinquishing too much at the start of the game, and so we wanted to get a little bit of a better beginning to the game, and I thought we started the game okay today. But now, when you do that, now you've got to find somebody to replace his role, him coming off the bench. Who's going to be that guy that does that? And so that's why when your question was a good question about finding your lineup. Those are things you got to find as you go along.
All set. Thank you very much, Coach.